Okay everyone, I'm going to show you my method for doing hacks on 9 innings MLB 2013. Right now I've got 3 programs I'm going to be using here: Helium, Game Guardian, in 9 innings 2013. Your tablet has to be rooted. I'm using an Android based Galaxy Note 10.1 by Samsung. And the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to use Helium to back up my game data. You always want to do that. Helium will start, and once it's ready, we're on backup up here, and then down here we're going to select our backup. I'm just going to do 9 innings 2013, and we'll see it drop down here selected for backup. Now on the other side I'm going to press backup. It's going to ask me where I want to back it up to. The Galaxy has an internal storage for SD cards, so that's where I back up to. And it's going to be doing the backup right now. It's running through permissions and everything, and it's performing the backup, and now it's completed. So all my data to this point has been saved. So if something happens during the hacking, I can always restore my data from this point and not nuke my team. So I'm going to hit OK here. Then I'm going to back out and go back to my home window, which on my tablet is just by pressing the home button here. Okay, so we're back to my home screen here. And now down here we're going to go to 9 innings plus. Now, in this segment I'm going to show you how to set up your hex codes for hacking. The basics: power, contact, I for the batters, your levels, your fill, and your endurance, pitching power, and pitching control for your pitchers. We're going to go ahead and open this up, and 9 innings 2013 is going to go ahead and open up. Mine takes a while, so give it a second. Okay, and so we're at our start touchscreen. Start here. My daily bonus, I've already done it, so I'm going to just hit next time. Now, when we get started here, a couple things we want to be sure is we have points here, because we're going to need points for leveling up, and we need to be sure we have points, net points, on the card market. Right now I've already cleared out my batter's box, so there's nothing in here. And what we want to do now is we're going to just get some normal cards off the market. Batters, we're going to do batters, and we got to level at least one of them up. We're going to need at least 3 to start with, so I usually buy like 8 or 10. So we'll go buy batter. I'm going to go ahead and search. See here I've got maxed out net points, so I'm good to go. I'm going to search all normal, level 1, because I definitely want mine to be level 1, or basically not leveled up, and low, because I want the lowest priced ones. And now I see a bunch of them, so I'm just going to buy a few here. These are all level 1. None of them have been leveled up. You see they're all +0, the way they should be. So luckily they're only 1,000 points. Not too much. Don't buy any of the same player. You'll understand why later. Okay, I think I did 6, so I'm going to go ahead and back out. And I'm going to go over to my card box here. Okay, so I got 7 here, and they're all different players. They're all normal. They're all level 1, unleveled up, which is important. So now what we want to do is we want to try to level one up. We need to have one successful one, but we also need the points to go across equally. So +1 to contact, +1 to power, +1 to bad eye. Hit back here, upgrade. I'm going to pick a card. start with this Zimmerman. It's going to ask me for 300 to do it. I'm going to press OK. And we got a fail. Okay, which is okay because we need a fail too. So hit back. I'm going to do the next one. Okay. This is all pretty basic. I got another fail. Continue leveling up, and I'm just going to go through until I get them. Joey, turn it down. Okay, and this one leveled up. So we went +1 here, but we got 3 on contact and 0 on the other two, so that's no good. We're going to continue to level up. This is why we buy so many of these things. That's not good. And that leveled up, but that's not good either because we got 201. We need that to be 111. And there we go. We got one. Okay, that's about how many it usually takes. About 6 to 7 tries on average. So we have success. We leveled up. So now we're at level 2. 1 successful level up, and our points distributed equally across contact, power, and bad eye. And that's good to go. So now we're going to back out. Okay, and we're going to go to the batter box. Here's my successful level, Kennedy. You've got to remember that one. I have one left over with no level ups, no attempts on it, no fails. We're going to need that. And then we have our fail over here. So all the other ones I'm going to trash because I do not need them and I do not want to get confused. Okay, so here I go. I've got a fail. I've got a successful level up with +1 across, and then an unleveled one that hasn't been used. Okay, now I need to put these guys, I need to put all these on my team. So we'll start over here because this is the spot. We're going to call this the number 1 spot. We need this spot. This is the one we're going to be hacking. So we start over on this side and we're going to just add him to my team, and I'm going to move him over to my bench somewhere. Okay, so we're going to take this Cabrera out, and then we're going to add the Kennedy to the bench, the same thing, and we'll go ahead and take Freeze out. Okay, and the one we want to start with in this position, we want our unleveled card here. So then I'm going to take this guy, move him to my bench, and I'm going to switch him with this guy who is unleveled and has not had anything done to him. Okay, now I'm ready to begin hacking my batters. For pitchers, you want to do the exact same thing. You want to get a bunch of normals, and it's important to use all starters or all relief pitchers. And the reason why is because when you add them to your bench and take them, the starters will only go to starters, the relief will only go to relief. It just makes it easier if they're all starters or all bullpen. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and back out of here. I'm going to exit my game. We're back at my main screen here, and again I'm going to go ahead and do a backup. So again, I'm opening Helium. I'm going to press my 9 innings for backup. I'm going to back it up. Internal storage. Now I'm doing this because I have those normal cards on there, and it's important that I keep those because I don't want to go through the whole process of having to level one up again, because that can take a while. Okay, so my backup is complete. I'm going back to my home screen. Now this is the first time we're going to run Game Guardian. Game Guardian is the program that is used to read the hex codes and allows you to alter the codes for the hex codes. It allows you to actually change things up for the gameplay. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and it's going to open the program here. You see down here it's been granted permission by super user. Okay, so it's all running right now. This, if you've had time to read this, go ahead. I never use this stuff. I haven't had any problems with it. So from here I just hit the home screen again. Now you'll see this icon pop up over here. That tells me that Game Guardian is running in the background, which is important. Now we're going to go ahead and open up our 9 innings again. Now the game's going to open. You'll see the icon is still up here showing that it's running in the background. Okay. That's important. Now once a game gets open, this is when we're going to actually start searching hex codes. And this is the critical part. This is probably the hardest part, besides maybe getting your device rooted and downloading the proper programs. Okay, I'm at my welcome screen here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little icon here. We're going to see this menu pop up. It's kind of hard to see because it's gray. I got search, fuzzy, clear, and then across the top you got these bars. That's for changing your settings. Magnifying glass for search, a diskette for a save, and then a list for a listing of all the hex codes associated with the game. The two we're going to concentrate on are the magnifying glass and the diskette for saving. You can mess with the other ones at another time if you want. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead. We see this little back button here. If you can see that. That minimizes Game Guardian and allows you to go back to the game. And it sets Game Guardian in the background again. So I'm going to hit that. Now our game is back and the blue icon is back. I'm going to go to my card deck, my batter room. There's my player, unleveled and ready to go. Now we're going to start with the fresh card because of the way we search. I'm going to go back over to the icon. I'm going to hit icon. Sorry. And then I'm on the magnifying glass and I'm going to hit search. Now this player right here is level 1, which means he has 0 level ups. Okay? He also has no points added to any of his batting attributes. No points to contact, to power, or to eye. So he has 0 points there as well. This is why it was so important to get that 111. We're going to go ahead and put a 0 in. So I hit 0, and we're going to go ahead and search. Now this is going to generate like 12 million, 19,891,000 hex codes on that one card that has a 0 value. Now 0 is a real popular value, but we see the hex code over here. We see all these zeros over here. Okay, and it came up with that one card, like I said, almost 20 million hex codes. So now I'm going to minimize this again. Oh, my battery's running low. Okay, minimize this. Then I'm going to take this card, now that I'm back on my baseball screen, a game screen. I'm going to take that card and I'm going to switch it with my level 1 card, or level 2 with the one successful level up. Okay, now this card has 1 successful level up and it has +1 to bat, contact, to bat power, and to bat eye. So I'm going to go over to my dog icon again, press that. Now the hex codes are already there from the last card search. Now within this group of hex codes that we already searched, I'm going to search for 1, because 1 is the number of level ups and the number of points that this card has acquired so far. I'm going to hit search and we drop down to 3,091. That's still a lot. Now we're going to hit the back button here. This is when it gets repetitive. I'm going to take that card, add it to my deck, bring back up my unleveled card. I'm going to hit the dog icon again. Now I have all my hex codes for the last card that I searched 1 on. You can see some of the codes have actually changed because it's a different card. Now I'm going to search for 0 because this card has 0 level up and 0 points. Now I'm down to 1,724. Now I'm going to repeat the process. We want to repeat this process until we get down to 4 remaining hex codes. It can take a while, but that's why it's important to save all this data. Okay, now we're down to 9, okay, and I can already tell you which ones the codes are, just because I've done this enough, but we'll keep going here. Back down to the unleveled card, search 0, Now we're down to 7. You can stop anytime you want and start messing around with the codes, but you do take the chance of freezing the whole game up, and that can be a problem. Okay. I'm going to stop at this guy right here. I'm going to search for 0. I hope I didn't go fast. I was just going back and forth through the process. Okay, I'm down to 6 codes now. Now, if you look at these codes, you'll see how these top 3 are exactly the same except the last character. We've got C, D, and E, and they are in order. Okay? We see they have a 0 value. Okay? To test these, we come over here. I'm going to do info, and you can see right now we're at 75, 70, and 71. I'm going to bring back up the code. Okay. If you press it and hold it, it allows you to change the code. It's asking me to put in a new value, a new integer for this code. I'm going to go ahead and put in 21 because 21 is the maximum amount of points a card can get from leveling. You can level a card 7 times, and each time is worth 3 points. That's a total of 21 points. Now when I press OK, the power on this should jump from 70 to 91. Okay, and you probably saw it do that. Now it's at 91. Just like that, we just changed the power. The only reason I did that was to test it, to make sure that that was the correct code. Now, I'm going to change it back to 0 because if you change a card and you touch another card, sometimes the game freezes, so we don't want to do that. Now the way this works is the first one is the power for some reason. It doesn't go in order. It's power, contact, I. Those are those. So if you just touch it once, it comes up and asks you if you want to save this address. We do. Well, I'm going to save it as batter hyphen power. Okay? And then I'm going to hit yes. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the second one. And I'm going to name it batter contact because it's the contact hex code. And then on the third one, I'm going to call it batter I because that's the hex code for the batter I. Now, I have those 3 values. They're still 0, which is good because the card has 0 value for those. But if I come over to this diskette button, I'm going to press that and we'll see my 3 codes that I just saved. Batter, power, batter, contact, and batter I. This is important so later you can load this data and change it on all your cards. You don't have to do this every time. But we have to hit the save button on the side here. We're going to save that. And it's going to say, do you want to save the list for the current game?
Dad?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. Now we're going to go back over to the search button here. It's going to get kind of confusing on these last 3 on which one is the level one. Because now we want to find the level. We've got our contact, power, and bad eye points. But we want to find our level. So I'm going to go back to the main screen here so I can see it. I'm going to press the icon and I'm going to take a chance that's the 4th one. And to try it, I'm going to hold it down, the 4th one, and I'm going to put in 7 because 7 is the number of successful levels that a level 8 card will have. It starts at level 1 with 0 levels. Level 8 has 7 successful levels. Now when I hit yes, we should see the bar down here on this card go up to level 8. Let's see if it did it. Yes, it did. So that is the level for batting. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to hold down it again. I'm going to change it back to 0 because I don't want to affect the card right now. I'm just doing the hex code search. I'm going to tap that to save it. I'm going to press batter, and I'm going to save this as level. So I know that that's the level to this. And I'm going to save that. Now, up here, I'm going to go to the save button. Now on the side we see I still have my previous 3, my batter, power, contact, and I, and my batter level. It's important now that I save this again because I only saved the previous 3. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It's going to say, do you want to save it? Yes. Now we just saved it. Now we're going to do our last search, and this is going to be for the fails. So you can fix fails on cards. This is the one that most people don't know, and it's actually not too hard. We're going to go ahead and hit clear because we're done searching on this card. Now it's important we have not changed anything on this card. They're all still zeros. That's important. The other card that we were using to search off of would be ones right here. We're going to hit clear. It's going to ask if we want to clear the selected search results, and that's yes. We already saved them, so we're good to go. Now on this card has no fails, so it has a maximum possibility of 7 level ups remaining. This is the part that most people don't know. We're going to search the number of possible level ups left, which is 7. So we're going to search 7, and it comes up with 81,000 almost values for 7 on hex codes. Just like our other search, now we're going to go back. We're going to switch the card. This time we're going to switch the card with our failed one. That's why it was important to keep the failed one. Now we have a card in the player 1 spot with a fail on it. We're going to go up to the icon, press that. We still have the hex codes that showed up from our last search. We're going to hit search on this. Now this one has 1 fail, so it only has 6 good level ups in it, not 7. So now we're going to search 6 and hit OK. Now we see it dropped all the way down to 4. I'm going to hit the back button. I'm going to switch that card out with my regular card again. And now we're going to search again. I've got those 4 left, if you can see them. My screen goes dark. Right here, and you can already guess which one is the correct one. It's the 7. Okay? Well, we'll go ahead and search it. Alright, there we go. We got 7. Now that I know for a fact is the number of successful level ups left. But to show you, I'm going to hold the 7 down, and for the fun of it, I'm going to put in 3. Okay? I'm going to hit yes. And we go back to the card. Now look at it. It has had 3. It only has 3 remaining level ups left. 1, 2, 3. You can see the 3 gray spots, meaning it's had 4 fails. That proves that that is the fail one. Now, if you were going to fix this card, like say hypothetically this was the card and you needed it fixed, it's got somebody messed it up and it's a beautiful card and you want to fix it, you're simply going to change that code back to 7. 7 is its ideal state. So we hit 7 and you'll see we're back to where we are. Now, why we have this here, I'm going to tap it again. It's going to say, do you want to save it? Absolutely. I'm going to save it as batter, fail. Okay? That way I remember what it's to. Okay, now I've saved it. Now I go over and press my diskette icon. And now my hex codes I have saved so far are batter power, batter contact, batter eye, batter level, and batter fail. Okay? Now we want to hit save again, so we save all those hex codes because last we have the new one under fail. Do you want to save? Yes. Now any card that's in this space can be altered by those codes. For example, I'm going to switch this out with this Lance Berkman I have. Lance Berkman is a pretty good card. It's got defensive captain, but it's got good power. Look at that, 109 power. Okay. Hypothetically, hacking this with special level up would get this thing to 130, okay, which we can do. We got the card in the number 1 spot, which means it's going to be the card that's going to be altered. Come over, press our dog icon. I'm just touching it so that this background comes up, and we got our points over here. They're all zeros. Okay, we're going to change Our bat power, just touch it, changes from 0 to 21. Okay? You can already see in the background that jumped up to 51. Okay? Now we also have to remember to do our bat level. Switch it to 7, which will push it to level 8. That's the number of successful levels. Okay, and we see that the bars all went up. Now if I go back and actually look at this now, you can see I'm at 130 power now, and I'm level 8. Now, this is the hardest part that most people don't realize. This card is pretty much useless right now, unless you put it on the market or send it to somebody. It basically has to travel through the server of the game system to be set that way. It's kind of like, I guess, baking a cookie. We just prepared the dough and cut the cookie, but it's not cooked yet. So to set this card, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the market, card market. Now this can be kind of dangerous because you stand a chance of selling the card, especially if it's one you want. But I'm going to have to take that chance. I'm going to register this card on the market. Okay, there it is. You can see how beautiful this thing is. 51 points, 130. It's almost maxed out. It's a decent card. I'm going to hit yes. I'm going to put it on the market. I always put mine at 89.99.888. And I'm going to hit register card. Now, see, this is a problem right here. It says right now that the sum of lists for the exchange are 10. That means I'm maxed out either on the number of cards I have on the market or the number of cards I have sold and are waiting to get the money from. If I do anything else with that card right now, I will nuke my team. Okay, this is why we backed up. The only thing I can do right now is go back to my cards and return that card to normal. Okay, I don't know why it's this way, but if I go to my market and try to pull a card off to make room, the whole game will freeze. It'll say it's impossible to connect, call customer service, and you just lost your team. Although we did do a backup before we started. So this is actually a pretty good example, because this is one we could have gotten in trouble on. So now I'm going to hit batter power. I'm going to return that to 0. I'm going to return my bat level to 0. Okay. Now my player is exactly the same as he was. Okay. I'll go ahead and put him back on the team for the fun of it. Now I can go onto my trade market and I can pull a card off. Okay, I got 5 cards on here, which means I got 5 cards that are probably sitting in my for sale thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull off this Phillips here. He's in my inbox. I can go back to my box. He's right here. There's my other guy. My Berkman's there. If I had not returned this Berkman back to exactly how it was, the whole game would have frozen. So it's really important to get your box all set up and ready for this. You don't want to have too many cards on the market when you're doing this. The last thing you want to do is pull a perfect card and you're leveling it perfect, and then the game freezes and you lose that card. Okay, so now I'm putting my batter power to 21 again. I'm going to put my bat level to 7. Okay, I'm going to go back, and now my card is max leveled again, just like it was. Now I'm going to put this guy on the market. Okay, do I want to sell it? Yes. Okay, register card. And now it's registered. Okay, now as soon as I back out, that card is on the server. Anybody can buy that card exactly how I leveled it up. I'm going to go back onto the market. It's connecting to the server. I'm going to check my cards I uploaded. There it is. I'm going to cancel that cell. Now that card is back in my inbox. And now that card is set. Set at that. It's good to go. I can use it on my team. I can send it to people. I can sell it. I can gift it. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Okay? So pitching, you do the exact same thing. Just remember to use all starters or all relief. I prefer just to use starters. And just take your time. Remember to back up every time and take it step by step. What I like to do sometimes is I'll do the batters and then I will back out and I'll come back in and I will do the pitchers next. That brings up a point, exiting and entering the game and loading. I'll show you that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button here. I'm going to exit the game and we get to see Julianne Huff here. And I still got my Game Guardian running in the background. Anytime you exit a game to log out and you want to log back in, you need to go into Game Guardian and stop it. Okay, so now it's stopped. Now it's not running in the background. Now I'm going to start it up again. Game Guardian starting. And then I'll go to my main window. I'll start up 9 Innings 2013 again. Wait for it to load. I'm going to show you how to load the data you already had. And that's important to do because if you don't and you start checking for new hex codes, you're going to lose the previous ones you did, and you don't want to do that. So if I go up here and I press the dog icon, right now there's nothing in here because I haven't done anything. If I search for something for the pitchers, like we want to start the pitchers, and I start saving the data, I'm going to lose the batter data. So it's important you come up here to your diskette icon and you hit load. This is going to load the last time you saved. It's going to ask us if we want to load. We're going to hit yes, and you'll see on the side all of our batter stuff popped up. Now we can go back to the pitchers and start searching the pitcher hex codes the same way we did the batters, and we can add them to this and save it again, and then they'll all be there. That data there is good for our new cards too. For example, if we drew a card, let's pick a Dodger since I'm trying to get a Kemp. Okay, we got a Ramirez here. Okay, no big deal. That card can now be hacked using the same method. We're going to put it into the #1 spot. It's sitting in the #1 spot. Got to be sure it's highlighted. You see it's highlighted. Bring up the hack codes. They're over here. They're all 0. Now maybe on this card we want to mix it up a little bit. Maybe maybe we want to bring the contact up to 81. So we need to add 7 to contact. And then we want the rest to power. I'm going to go ahead and hit our dog icon. On batter contact, just touch it once. We're going to change that 0 to a 7. And you see in the background it changed to 81 on the contact. And we're going to change the power to 14. Remember, it has to equal a sum of 21. You see that jumped up to 92. Don't forget to change the batter level. 7, okay? Now you see our card here is 81, 92, 90, and it's maxed out at 7. Now I have to put this on the market, but as you know, my market is full. So I'm not going to back out. This time I'm just going to send it to somebody. If you gift the card, it's the same as loading it on the market. I'm going to gift that card, and I'm going to send it to one of the old timers here. Really old guy. He's been playing for years. I think he was playing this when it came out as 1922 or something. And hit done. So now he's in there. I'm going to go ahead and send this card to him. It's going to go through Once it's done, he's going to get the card as we leveled it up, and it's going to be good to go. And he's going to have a pretty crappy Ramirez in his inbox, but hey, it's leveled, and we are good to go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and back out of here. That's it for this segment. That was pretty long. I apologize for that. That's the hard part. On the next segment, since we already know how to do points now, we know how to fix the levels, and we know how to fix fails, which is a really big deal. Next time we're going to search attributes, so we can change attributes and the initial points that we see assigned to cards, so we can make the cards more powerful in the way we want. Alright, I hope you enjoy this, and take care.